Welcome back to Max Nave Horsemanship again. And you're probably a little surprised to see me here. And, well, I'm a little surprised to be here, but in a good way. But I'm going to explain why we're here and why we decided not to do videos anymore and, well, kind of what we're going to do about that and stuff like that. You see, a while back I decided I'd had enough. You know, it just wasn't worth the trouble anymore. And decided I was going to quit doing videos. Just wasn't getting enough views. Wasn't any point. Not the amount of trouble. And a lot of you are going to make suggestions. Well, if you do this, that, or the other thing, you can improve your viewership. And yeah, there's a few things you can do. And I actually have tried quite a few of them. And unfortunately, none of them really worked. And the number of views I get on my videos, it's very odd. The ones that I think are better get few views. Ones that I don't think are that good get a lot of views. And doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. If I could get a reasonable number of views on my videos, I wouldn't be too concerned. But some will hit 1,000. Most you're lucky if they hit 100. Although I have one that's 80,000. Go figure. Don't make sense. But we got a reason to be back now. And in spite of the fact that it's the middle of winter and we're working outside and that sort of thing, we don't have indoor facilities here, we still have a good reason now. Because, well, I'm going to show you. It's the easiest way to do it because it's going to be one more new thing to try in my videos, and it's going to change the format of my videos a little bit. They're probably going to end up being quite a bit longer now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in detail training on a youngster. And it's something I've kind of wanted to do for a while, and I did do a complete series of videos that I have not uploaded to YouTube, where right from scratch, I trained a horse, and then I sold it. And right up to the point of riding, right from totally unhandled to riding. And I documented it all just to show you. But a lot of those views would be, well, a lot of those videos, I should say, would be rather boring and lengthy. Not the kind of thing that a lot of you are going to be interested in. Well, maybe you would be. But you see, there's a new baby around here now. And no, not this one. That one. You see, the owner of these horses, well, they originally purchased this one, which is doing quite well. As you can see, she's actually getting quite bold, doing quite well, and a little too bold sometimes, and making good progress with her. But I haven't been doing much with this one because this isn't my horse. But this one over here, this little paint filly, who is pretty close to the same age, before they purchased her, I was specifically asked if I'd be willing to work with the horse if they bought it. I said, well, heck yeah. Clean slate. I like that. Now, I'll give you a little backstory on it. That little paint filly there, she is approximately 9 years old. And I say approximately because nobody actually knows her exact birth date. But that's close enough anyhow. And as you can see, she's quite young. We aren't going to be putting a saddle on her anytime soon, that's for sure. And, you know, we don't know a whole lot of her background because, well, I'll give you what little backstory we do know about her. A lady purchased a mare, did not know that it was in foal. And along comes this one. And it was out in the pasture when it foaled, so they don't even know for sure. All they know is one day there was a new horse out there. So as best they can determine, it's approximately nine months old. And originally they were going to keep it until they realized that they were in way over their head. They didn't have the skills and knowledge to be able to train a horse right from scratch. So they decided that once it was weaned, they were going to put it up for sale, which is where I come into the picture, because once it went up for sale at a fairly reasonable price, because it was kind of unwanted, the lady that ended up purchasing her here asked me if I'd work with her. I said sure, and so they bought the horse. So what I'm going to do now is, now this is going to be a little tricky because a little more backstory on this horse. Pretty much unhandled, completely untrained, And it took us about 4 hours yesterday. We managed to get it into the round pen. Don't ask, that'd be a long story how we even got her there. And after several hours, managed to get a rope on her, which was really hard to do because she's very wary of ropes. And once we got the rope on her, then we managed to get a halter on her. That whole process took about 4 hours. However, there was a lot of other little stuff went on in the meantime. It was kind of cool. But don't worry, you haven't missed it, because we're probably going to have to repeat all of that stuff several times over before it gets any good anyhow. And even catching her and putting a halter on again today, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge too. But I'm going to film all this stuff as much as I can so that you get to watch it and get to see exactly what goes on. So if you have yourself a youngster to work with, well, you'll know what to do. So, you know, here goes with that journey. And, well, you'll notice, most of you will notice, I tend to like using rope halters, and I have one here. This is the one I use for riding and everything else. Only problem with these is, well, they're really good halters in many ways, and I prefer them for training, and they are pretty much one size fits all, but they have their limits. One of these things will not fit on a draft horse. You have to buy one that's specifically for a draft horse because they got huge heads. And then for little babies like this, well, you actually need a smaller one for them too. Although yesterday I put this one on, and yeah, it's way too big, but it did the job. It worked. Managed to accomplish what we wanted with it, and in fact the other one, the owner couldn't find the proper one for that one and ended up using a bigger one, and so they were doing basically the same thing I was. We were both using adult halters on little baby horses, and well, it worked. You know, it wasn't ideal, but it worked, and you can do it if you have to. Wouldn't recommend it. I'd say go get the right size if you can, but since it's not even my horse, I'm not about to run out and buy a smaller halter for her. Well, you never know, I might end up doing that anyhow, just because I like to be able to do things the right way. But that's what my videos are going to be coming up, and I'm out here today because I'm about to start working with that one, if I can catch her, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge because in case you haven't noticed behind me, here's a significantly large pasture. And if she decides she doesn't want to go where I want her to go so that I can get her into the round pen where I can work with her, we got a little problem on our hands. And, well, even yesterday it took a while to get her there, but we're going to see what we can do. And if we get really lucky today, since things have improved a tiny bit, maybe we can even catch her today out here and then lead her over to the round pen where we can work with her. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Hey, you want a little better view of her? Hang on a second, I'll move the camera and we'll get a better shot. So this little paint filly here, this is the one I'm going to be working with. And I'm going to, like I said, completely untrained and pretty much unhandled. A little wary of humans, very wary of ropes. We've definitely got our work cut out for us here. But the beautiful part is we're starting with a clean slate, and we're going to have to do absolutely everything with this horse too. So we're going to get a chance to show you this stuff. And well, since I don't have a cameraman to follow me around, you're going to have to excuse me because I'm going to have to leave you now and see if I can go catch this thing. In the meantime, you have yourselves a great day, and stay tuned because we are going to be back with more videos, hopefully. And you're going to get to see this little filly and the progress that we make with her and what we have to do to achieve certain things. And I really do wish I had a cameraman, because just catching her and putting a halter on, or even just getting a rope over her neck, is going to be a fair bit of a challenge. And it's something I'd like to actually show you, but I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately. Oh well. In the meantime, thanks for watching and have a great day.